12:18 on this Tuesday, Sam. A lot of us woke up to some much chillier weather and the fog that you see behind you.
We sure did. You know, the fog wasn't too bothersome, Brooke. It kind of made for some very patchy river fog early this morning, and that's what we did see in Beckley Creek Park. Some light fog underway. This shot coming in from Ellen Stanley Sears into our Kentucky and Indiana Cloud Watchers page, so a pretty good submission there. And if you didn't wake up to fog this morning, I guarantee your car windshield, if you parked outside, did have a bit of that condensation on it. So it's all due in part to that colder air that moved through, of course, with the air temperature being cooler than surfaces like your car and the grass. So that's where the condensation formed, as that cooler air did kind of overlay on the grassy surfaces. So it did make for a little bit of that dew this morning. But regardless, all in all, a bit of a cool one. Bedford opened up the morning at 41, Brandenburg at 39. Some of the coolest air that we have seen since spring, dating back to actually April. So again, in Louisville, we dipped down to 51. We may eke out a couple of 40s in the city again tomorrow morning as well. Now we're sitting at 67 as we've gotten into the lunch hour, and I do think it's going to be a quiet day today. And frankly, each day this week will be extremely quiet for Kentuckiana. 64 in Frankfort, 66 in Madison, and again down to the south in Munfordville, where it's 67 degrees. But Bedford still in the mid 50s, getting the afternoon rolling. The patio forecast looking absolutely incredible locally for the area, and the reason why we're looking pretty darn quiet is this good old ridge of high pressure. It's really not going to be going anywhere. The upper levels of the atmosphere are lacking any kind of wind overhead, so there's no reason for this high pressure to be leaving us, bringing in more drier days ahead of us. But the big story, of course, nationally is Hurricane Milton, where right now Milton is brewing still across much of the central and southern Gulf of Mexico, and still going to be in open waters over the next 24 to 36 hours. You can see Milton still a Category 4 hurricane with wind of 150 miles an hour. This is the latest advisory, and it's going to continue to be making its way north and eastbound around 10 miles an hour right now, and likely gaining speed as it accelerates really close to that Florida Gulf coastline, likely with landfall for Tampa towards St. Petersburg and points south of there. Clearwater Beach being affected, Anna Maria Island, maybe even Sarasota with a possible direct hit. And with time, this hurricane still will be marching to the east and back into open waters of the Atlantic Ocean, luckily, but Florida needs to be bracing for catastrophic damage and life-threatening storm surge. We're going to be watching storm surge around 14 to 20 feet in height. That's in excess of maybe 1 or 2 stories of a building, keep in mind. And another reason why we're not going to be dealing with the direct impacts here is this high pressure, once again, is going to be blocking any kind of clouds and moisture from the hurricane, veering it well down to our south. So it's a very unfortunate situation for Florida. Of course, locally here, we're going to be dry, and we're going to be savoring that sunshine. So please keep everybody in Florida in your thoughts and prayers as they brace for an extremely strong hurricane. Now, there will be a cold front that drags down our temperature back into the 60s for highs early next week. And take a look at that morning low temperature next Wednesday morning of 42 degrees. It's going to be a bit of a chilly one into next week.